To the Corner Store podcast, where real conversations meet real opinions. Before we get started, we want to remind our viewers and listeners that all opinions shared tonight are those of the host and guest in their personal capacity. They do not reflect the views, positions, or policies of their employers, affiliated organizations, businesses, or any other entities they may be connected to. Everything discussed on this platform is strictly opinion-based and intended for conversation, community engagement, and open dialogue. With that being said, sit back, relax, and stay engaged as we take you inside the Corner Store. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and invite somebody into the conversation. The door is open. Let's get into it.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Corner Store podcast. Tonight, we have a very special episode with a very special guest. She went from running track and being a track star on the track at Long County High School to now running with the big dogs like NASA and the Philadelphia Eagles in the STEM culture. We have the amazing, also beautiful, also intelligent, ultimate scientist, if I do say so myself, Miss Shirley Posey.
Welcome.
Jesus.
What an honor, the epitome of pretty smart. We are so glad to have you on with us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to grace us with your presence. We really appreciate that. And we're looking forward to dropping some gems for our audience. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor. I'm such a fan of what you all are doing. So I'm honored to even be here.
Thank you. So before we get started into everything, serious business, because again, you are a woman of many talents and we can't wait to share your background story and all the wonderful things that you have happening right now in our community. We're going to, kind of speak on some current topics going on, just have a little fun before we get super serious. Did you guys get a chance to check out the BET Awards this past weekend? I think it aired Sunday. And honestly, I didn't catch it. I missed it. Did you guys get to check out anything? I know some talk on social media going on, but I still haven't watched it. So
I saw the Erykah Badu not Erykah
Lauryn
Badu.
Hill had a tribute.
Hill, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was pretty amazing as far as hearing Queen Latifah and Common. Mm-hmm. And that I miss the soulfulness of what's happening in today's music. So that was like nostalgic hearing them.
Yeah, I love the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And it's crazy how that one album has carried her for decades, literally. It was nice to see some of the snippets that I have seen on social media, TikTok and whatever. But honestly, just definitely took me down memory lane. Love that album. Still listen to it today. And who was it? They had SZA and Doechii. I like their rendition of her song. Mm-hmm. And I did catch some of the Common and Queen Latifah doing her song as well. So yeah, definitely good stuff, good TV. And so also with the soulfulness of music, is funny that you mentioned that. Have you caught some of India Ari's comments on social media in reference to Carisha's super popular song, Spin That, glamorizing scammers or whatnot? We kind of talked about it a little bit on our episode Sunday, but have you caught some of that conversation going on around the song?
I have. It was very spicy. And I do have my thoughts on it as well, as far as I don't think people really understand the power of how words transmit into our behavior and our demeanor, our character, how it starts off super catchy, but then it is sometimes internalized. So, and as a neuroscientist, I understand that, clearly how that can happen. So it is very catchy, but I would have to say that as far as the messaging, and especially with what our community is going through right now, I don't know. I kind of sided with India Ari a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm an avid music listener. I enjoy everything. Like there's not a genre of music that I don't listen to or enjoy. And I definitely I get into the lyrics. It's not just the beat. Like Andre 3000, he quoting him, he's like, y'all don't want to hear me, y'all just want to dance. Like
Yeah.
I see both sides of it, and I really do enjoy all types of music. Have I listened to that song in particular? No. Do I hear the clips? I bop to it? Yes. Do I want my daughter listening to it?
Oh,
No.
that's a good point.
But I see it as one side. Yes, it's entertainment that does, that reaches a certain audience. People do live that life. However, no, I don't want it glamorized. But it's a double-edged sword. We're still bopping to T.I. and Jeezy and so forth and so on. They're out here pushing poison to the public. And the women, they're pushing.
And we don't like them either for that. Granted, they raised us. Deidre and we have this banter all the time.
I do.
I don't feel like they pander to the children. And I feel like that's what these artists in today's time are doing. Granted, we still heard it, we sang to it, but that's because we were being grown and listening to our parents' music. I feel like these particular artists are targeting our kids. And even still, just because something was done away at one point in time doesn't mean that we cannot grow and progress as people.
We do need to grow. We do.
So for the record, I hate the song. I hate the song.
Yes, she hates everything. City Girls. I was like, oh girl, the City Girls. And she's like, girl, no.
Yeah, no.
But like I said, I can enjoy music and not internalize it. But been there, done that. When I was younger, yes, because my grandma, she was like, she didn't want me watching BET. I still watched it, but I understand now why she want me, putting that stuff into my psyche. Because and we'll get into that too. Because music puts you in a trance, and we don't want our youth getting brainwashed by that. Because even with Rod Wave, he's depressing, and I was and my nephews love him. I said he makes me want to go jump off a cliff. There's no hope for the future. Like, there's no
hush him up right now, Miss Neuro Elite. You are the best person to talk to about this and how we're feeding our brain.
Definitely get your expertise on that. But
all right,
if you could, for those who don't know you, just a quick little intro about yourself. We're gonna get straight to the questions.
Oh, it's so hard to talk about myself, but okay. So my name is Shirley Posey, born and raised in Long County, grew up in the Broad Level. I am the CEO and founder of Neuro Elite, and really what I use is my research in order to use STEM education to develop communities. So definitely the pedagogy that I use, it really looks at not teaching students what to think, but how to think. And when we transform students, we transform communities. Just really quickly, I say this so humbly, I am the winner recognized by the Philadelphia Eagles as Educator of the Year for the Tri-State. So that's out of all the, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. I'm also the National Coalition 100 Black Women, Madam C.J. Walker honoree. And I'm also a TEDx talk speaker. I have been very blessed to run programming in Ghana, Kenya, and now I'm about to spearhead a project with Japan, Hawaii, and Mexico in schools there. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here. And I work with world leaders in looking at how can we effectively use STEM education to really develop communities.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. You are so amazing. We really appreciate everything that you are doing for these children. As you know, as I'm sure you have experienced, they need it now more than ever. So we truly appreciate it. So let's get straight into our few interview questions. Hopefully they're not too serious for you, but just to get people to know you so that they can, be more open to coming to the camps and supporting you and understanding just how awesome you are. So you went from setting records on the track at Long County County High School to working with NASA, the Philadelphia Eagles, and communities around the world. Was there a defining moment when you realized your purpose was bigger than athletics?
Definitely. I think that what sports teaches you is discipline. And a lot of people just like to put discipline in a box. Oh, she's disciplined, just like another way to identify a person as like a part of their personality. But if we were to take a magnifying glass and look inside of our brains, underneath a microscope, we would see that discipline is so much more than that. So we have in our brain three major networks. One network gives us the ability to just dream, imagine. It literally disconnects us from the world, right? It's the creativity part, the innovative part, where you are not in time and space and you're kind of like drifting off into what we say la la land. Then there's a network that says, hey, stop dreaming, and takes those dreams and those goals over, and those action items over into another network that really deals with, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we plan to do it. This is the time we're going to put in it. This is the strategy, right? And so the more, even when you have complex challenges, and the more complex challenges you're able to overcome, it develops that system or that network even more. And that is discipline. However, there's a negative side of that, right? There's people that they have these great ideas, or they can't get it off the ground, right? And so what happens is that network is connected to our emotional center. And so with that emotional center, it's saying, this is too hard, or I don't feel like doing this. And it goes into a safe zone. And what does that look like for us? That's mindless scrolling, that's sleeping, that's not really addressing the issue. However, the frailties of that is you're pouring into that part of your system where it doesn't want to be proactive, where it's afraid to go out and do things. You're pouring into that and not strengthening the discipline side. So where does STEM education comes in? STEM education, it nurtures and develops that innovative, creative space. It develops that, hey, stop dreaming, and this is how you're going to execute. So that's why science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is so important, because it strengthens our discipline. And so that's what I've been able to really get out of sports, is really the discipline mindset.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a great explanation.
Yeah, and so when you're talking about STEM, to expound on that part that you were just mentioning, STEM can actually change lives. And a lot of people hear that and they just think about classrooms and textbooks, but you've built water filters and prosthetic limbs and hydropod systems that are literally saving lives. So how do we change the way that people think, they think about STEM when they hear that, just making it more tangible in their everyday life?
Mm-hmm. So people, it's a big misconception of what science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is. Automatically, when people hear STEM, they think about robotics, they think about coding, they think about AI. That's not really STEM. STEM teaches and develops critical thinking. It teaches you strategy. It teaches you to overcome complex situations and say, how can we fix this, right? It teaches you how to solve problems. So really what you're looking at when we talk about STEM education, it's looking at taking individuals and looking at what's happening in their community around them, and how can you strategically design an effective plan in order to solve those problems. So really what STEM education is, it's solving a problem.
All right. And what's one project that you that completely changed your perspective on what's possible?
So So I can say one specific project is it's been a couple. So I'm gonna say going into Jackson, Mississippi, and listening to the people there, because we've done some water projects there, some water filtration projects in Jackson, Mississippi. 98% of the population there are Black and brown people, or minorities. And so listening to their stories where they're like, oh yeah, we've had to drink water, the color of this, like a dark brown black color, like a dark brown color, and the government say that's okay to drink.
Wow.
Literally, I want you all to imagine yourselves, like, we don't think about brushing our teeth, like turning on the water and brushing our teeth, or taking a shower and not worry about if water gets into our face and mouth and getting sick. But in the United States of America, that's what was happening in Jackson, Mississippi, where these people had normalized drinking black and dark brown water. And
Wow.
so them seeing us come in with these 3D printed water filters, one of them said, I can't believe they came all the way here from Philadelphia and we can't get we can't get our mayor or our governor to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that aired on our story and our journey of how we were 3D printing water filters and literally giving people in the United States clean drinking water and something that was sustainable, then the mayor jumped on and held a press conference. So it was there when it was like a light bulb came on that all of this goes hand in hand. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics plays a role in the economy. It plays a role in the political realm. Like, STEM is everywhere. And so if we really want to use our voices, it has to and must start even on a STEM foundational level.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we all know.
Add on to that. I'm sorry when you said that. So
no, we're fine.
In order to sustain that project, we donated two 3D printers to a school, Ambition Academy, and we taught them how to 3D print water filters there so that the project is sustained. Mm-hmm. But what was it was a little boy, and I will never forget, he was crying and he was like, I just want to come with you all because the conditions in the United States of America were that bad. Wow. So they're not talking about these things, how in most underserved communities, they're not clean water. So I'm not even talking about like the international work that I'm doing. It's what's happening here. And if we're not at the table, if we're not a part of the policy process, then who is going to be an advocate for us? If we are not represented in STEM, who's going to be able to speak directly for our community and say, no, that's not the best approach in order to solve this? And so that's another reason why we need to funnel more students into STEM for representation and to have a voice at the table.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Ooh, Lord bless you, honey.
I agree. Jesus. All right. So you are originally from Ludowici, Georgia. I know some people are probably going to be like, Little what? But Ludowici is a part of South Georgia. And so, with us being from Glenville, which neighbors Ludowici, sometimes many students from this area may think that opportunities like NASA or international research are just out of reach, So what would you say to that kid sitting in Glenville, Ludowici, Reedsville, Hinesville, who thinks they don't have enough resources to dream big?
That's so good. So for me, I was watching TV one day and Donald Trump was on and he was interviewing the president. He was in a meeting with the president of Liberia. And it was like, it hit me, was like, Shirley, you were at the table with the president talking about how you can use STEM education in order to transform Liberia. And then the thought came to me, you are a girl from the dirt road of Long County, Georgia, and God has placed you in these spaces. So how are you going to use your platform to inspire other young people? And so when I began to think about like what my journey, the resources are the people. Like I know people like to think about tangible things, but what has been my guiding light, it really is growing up in Macedonia and having to do Easter speeches and Christmas speeches and in on church meetings and seeing the advocacy and how business is run, and seeing my Nana Mildred Elder, how she conducted business, and she said whatever she said, she meant it and she followed through with it. And then I call her Grandma Sarah. She's really not my grandma, but Grandma Sarah Berry. When I would come home, I would go and visit her and have her conversations. And so she was saying how, I don't know if you all familiar over there in the Berry Hill, some of that was not paved when we were growing up. And it was horrible to drive down. And so she talked about her story, how she went and knocked on everybody's door and got signatures and petitions and talked to the county commissioner so that the roads could be paved. So when we talk about resources, it's the people in the community that you live in that can provide you resources. So now that all of us have had experiences in life, making connections and networking and reaching out and saying, hey, I'm interested in XYZ. Do you have a connect there? So I think that's the biggest advice I can give is, one, never be afraid of the word no, because you will close a lot of doors in your own face by just being afraid. Two, it would be look around in your community. We have some powerhouses in our community that live locally and that have gone away. Reach out to them and say, ask them questions. Let them know what you want to do. And three is exposure, exposing yourself to books, to learning more, and also reaching out when you see people on Instagram or social media, send them a DM and ask them, hey, this is what I'm interested in, can you provide some assistance? So the biggest thing I can say, don't let this environment of being in the country confuse you into thinking you don't have a powerful environment around you, right? Look at the people that make up the community. They will be your biggest resource and they will be your biggest advocate. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes.
You did. You overly answered the question because
Yes.
my next question was going to be, what is the first step? But you gave them plenty of steps
Yeah.
that they can take. But I guess we can both agree that one of the main steps is just believing in yourself and believing in the people around you. So making sure that you utilize your network. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and just, have faith in your work. Keep your head down and do the work and it'll all come. So thank you. That was a very
Yeah.
explanatory answer.
Yes, and it really is important to put yourself out there, just get out of your bubble and not be so, confined to the spaces of what's right in front of you. We definitely have to, look past your immediate surroundings. And
And
so
look past demographics,
yes,
anything that we're used to, who we're comfortable with, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable in order to unlock opportunities and good
yes,
doors.
and grow for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
So as
Oh,
a educator and just being in that space with students, what's one thing that the thing that stood out to you? Your students aren't just learning science, they're solving real life problems, as you mentioned earlier. If you could redesign America's education system tomorrow, today, next month, whatever, what's the first thing that you would change?
so I believe this is going to happen one day for me, where I will be able to be at the table in order to address this. And I would dare say that I'm creating through God's grace is creating this opportunity or this lane. But the first step would definitely be increasing the budget that goes into education. And the second step would then redesign education to where it's more system thinking based, if that makes sense. When history has told us that education in the United States was really to address the industrial needs of creating workers. So memorization, follow instructions like X, Y, and Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now education no longer fits that mold because the society is no longer just based upon memorization and staying with coloring in the lines. Education is transforming into a digital, technological savvy world. And so if we don't change to create system thinkers, then our educational system is going to continue to get worse. And across the board, there has been a decline in literacy, in mathematics skills. And so the next step would be to design a systems thinking based infrastructure within the system of education, which is working with different sectors in order to create one functional unit. So it would look at more so project based in order to develop key or essential skills within students. And Dr. Gardner's work at Harvard says that we're going to need 5 different types of learners in the future. And so those learners will be developed with giving them a problem and having them to address it. So it seems out of the box, but when I tell you I had a student to come to me and say, don't call on me because I don't know how to read. To where now she's getting ready to graduate from Temple and go to law school. So that method, even though it sounds really unorthodox, I'm telling you it works.
Yeah, I agree. They do definitely need progressive strategies and techniques to reach the children today because the old ways are not going to work. It's not even working in parenting. I know it's not working in teaching. All right. Speaking of the future, you mentioned that by 2030, most jobs will require STEM skills, which I totally agree with. So AI is changing everything right now. What skills should parents be encouraging their children to develop today so they don't get left behind tomorrow?
So I definitely think some of the things that one parent should do is neuroscience-based strategies at home. And what do I mean by that? That's as simple of getting your child to critically think. So instead of saying do this or do that or why didn't you do that, it's walking them through steps of critical thinking and developing problem solving skills. The other thing that I definitely would do, IBM, Harvard, and MIT has free digital certifications. So I'm going to say that again. IBM, Harvard, and MIT have all free certifications. Free. Get your child on those in those spaces. Also, parents, there's a lot of programs that help to develop leadership skills within students and your child. And I'm not talking about like hyper locally. Look for global leadership programs. And a lot of these programs have free tuition. So Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken, I can make sure you all have the information, but United Nations, which is I'm a part of the board for United Nations Pennsylvania, but the overall United Nations, they are having a global leadership summit in Switzerland. If you apply, if your child applies and they are accepted, guess what? They pay for the flight, they pay for the hotel, they pay for the room and board, they pay for everything. So if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken, the deadline is coming up, but you may have like a couple of days to apply. So really, parents, is one, starting at home. And I know it's I have a 7-year-old. And because I've been doing like this method with her, it takes a lot of patience for me, especially when I'm tired. But the way that they are able to process information, you will be amazed. So one, being a guide for them. Two, using IBM, Harvard, and MIT to your advantage to get your child enrolled into these free AI and digital programs. Also, Mark Cuban has a AI course as well. So again, Mark Cuban has a digital free AI course as well. Get them enrolled in that, and then look for these global leadership programs. And most of the time, 95% of the time, they have scholarships available where it will be free for your child. That's one thing my parents did do. They did every summer. I was away or doing some type of leadership or academic program also in the summer, along with my sports programs in the summer. I also was a part of leadership programs in the summer as well.
Wow. So it sounds like a good business for somebody to have is starting to scout and find all these programs and make them
Yes.
available and help people apply, because this stuff is free. So the
Yes.
opportunities are there. You just have to put yourself out there. Thank you so much for that, Shirley.
Yes. And thank you for
AI too. I mean, put it in AI. What the right part, right? Put it in AI and ask AI to give you the free global leadership programs for high school and middle school students. And then again, don't forget, I'm telling y'all, IBM has a very good AI certification program, and it's free.
free
Wow.
99. Free
Wow.
99.
So the
Okay.
resources are there. Thank
Yes,
you.
definitely. And the money is not an obstacle. So can't miss that. But yeah, we'll be looking for the resources. My baby's 5, but hey, I'm gonna do what I can do right now, because I definitely want her to be a thinker and not just a doer. And I think it's a part of the whole process. I think we spoke of that before too. I mean, we all kind of think about it. The school to prison pipeline, and with the literacy
From
rate,
third grade,
like
I think they start to
from
estimate
third
the number
grade,
of
take
beds
those scores.
necessary. Yeah, from
Mhm.
third grade literacy stores, which is
And if you
crazy.
haven't
But
noticed, between I think Long counties it was better than Datnos, but
way better. Yes.
yes. Something to be proud of. Our literacy rates were down, but we're gonna have to do our part as parents, and we have to do our own part. It is what it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
to get that together, but it all goes together for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna say too, for your 5-year-old, y'all, people can start now with developing their. So if you think about like how a child develops so many skills from the age of 0 to 5 years old, that's because their brain cells are like what is that? I hate slime, right? You know how it's like stretchy. So the more you feed that brain cell, the faster it will develop within that really sweet spot, because it's called neuroplasticity, where you're able to stretch and grow. So the more you feed it, it'll stretch and grow. So getting a 4 or 5-year-old, 3-year-old Legos, not Legos, the connects, getting them connects and giving them a picture and say, recreate this, or giving them a prompt. What would you do if you were on an island? What would you build to get off? Like little things like that, I'm telling you, makes a huge difference.
Wow.
okay, thank you, because I'm
Wow.
all for it. Let's get started now.
Right.
I need a
was
little
telling
scientist
I
right
told you,
now.
Andrew, I was like, she has a daughter. She's a little scientist as well. So Elle
Yes,
is everything, like
love
everything. Her
that.
little lab coats and everything. But
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
all right.
Thank
So
you.
when people hear your name, Shirley Posey, 25 years from now, what do you hope your legacy will be? How does that sound? And if the awards, the inventions, the students, or something else entirely, like what is that? What's your dream for that 25 years from now?
I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but
Oh.
it would be if I could leave a legacy like my Nana, Mildred Elder, I would have done a good job. My Nana, Mildred Elder, it's a representative in Hinesville who I remember as a young girl always attributing his success to who she was. Her developing so many people as far as like oratorical skills, her being an advocate in the political realm in Long County. She was never a official part of a public servant, public servant. However, she did a lot of behind the scenes, where I would see these people coming to her living room and she would say, "What this is the issue." So if I could be able to leave the legacy of even generational wealth and land, leave the legacy that my Nana Mildred Elder has left on this earth, I think that I would be really proud of the work
Oh,
that I.
Yeah.
oh, so sweet.
Somebody has told you, and I'm sure you've heard it before, and I'm just not really speaking to you for the first time today. I'm sure, I'm just my guess, you've done plenty already now to be proud of yourself, and I'm sure your daughter looks up to you. You know, she has big shoes to fill, and I know you have so much more in store. So you're doing a great job, and we just really look forward to everything else that you have coming. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, she's making all the small town girls step their game up, honey.
Hello.
And I love that. All right, so in true corner store fashion, we need everybody to drop a W Shirley in the chat for is it? Yeah, W Shirley for her to win. She is already winning, but just drop that in the chat.
Keep
All
winning.
right. Yes, she's winning. Big winning. All right, so now we have come to the end of the interview, so the end of all the serious stuff. And now we have something that is called our rapid fire round. It's very fun, it's very laid back, something easy, just a bunch of quick little questions. So the first question is NASA or NFL, who surprised you the most to work with?
The NFL. The NFL, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I would say the NFL.
Really?
Yeah, they surprised me with Super Bowl tickets to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Got flued out too.
Yeah, like they pay for everything. So I definitely would like, and they, I get invited to games sometimes to sit like on the field and stuff. So that's pretty nice.
Okay.
So I would say they really do pour into the community, and they really do support people that are really making positive impacts into the community. So I definitely would say the NFL.
Nice. The red carpet treatment. Okay.
Listen.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Deserve it. Flew out. I was like, friend, do they have an extra ticket, please?
I do. Next time, it was so funny the first time I sat like on the field, I was like, I can't go back to regular seats now.
Never. I've had a taste of the good life. Can't go back.
I can't do the regular seats anymore.
Never
Nice.
going back.
Yes, nice.
All right.
So if you can share, what's one invention you haven't built yet, but you're determined to create? I know you don't want anybody, coming up on your, intellectual property, but if there's one thing you're thinking about, you want to invent.
Maybe it's something that already has a patent on it.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk about this because it was already aired, and you would have to do a lot of research to kind of create it. But definitely the visors that change colors to detect concussions. That would be definitely, especially, I don't know if you all, so there's a running back who's like I think he's like ranked number 5 as far as like the fastest times. He has ALS now, and he's only
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so he's having to use basically like a screen in order to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely developing that would help to save so many lives and the quality of lives that athletes have. So that's one of the things.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Oh,
You don't have to worry
okay.
about me. Your secret's safe with me. I'm nowhere near.
That was
Listen,
so
I have a top secret security clearance. I have to keep secrets, okay? All right. And I'm scared to go to jail, so there's that. All right. So, if money weren't an obstacle, what global problem would you solve first? We know you've been and you fixed one of the water problems in Kenya. Well, what is another global problem that you would fix?
Oh,
No budget.
No budget. Money ain't a problem.
Think big.
I do have something.
What?
And I'm gonna say, because maybe it'll an innovation hub, like an innovation hub. And the innovation hub, if you develop it correctly, it won't be one problem that you would have to address. So because then you would
Saving the
definitely
trees.
yeah, it would definitely be a pot or curating a space that would be able to solve all of these various issues and challenges. So a innovation hub would be one of those things, because then you would be able to address multiple things there. I hope that wasn't cheating, but
No. There's no cheating here.
No, you're not
Your
cheating.
truth.
Women don't cheat.
So, what's one myth about STEM that
boo?
you wish?
Is that a boo? Did I hear a boo to that?
I don't know. Somebody in the background might be hating. We don't know.
Did he say he know black women don't cheat.
Anywho. Oh my goodness. The man behind the madness. What's one myth about STEM that you wish people would stop believing?
That you can't do it. Like they think that you have to be like this incredible like brainiac or this super smart person to do it. But again, there are ways when we intentionally target like the brain cells and we rewire and strengthen certain pathways in the brain. You are able to, what it does is it unlocks innate genius and you're able to do anything. So that's one myth that I definitely would bust, like tear all the way down, is people thinking they have to be this brilliant rocket scientist in order to be able to be a part of STEM.
Yeah. Because what is it once that prefrontal cortex develops
Development. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what? Well, I know was like 25 once it fully develops. What's the age?
Like
for
some
that?
people is 30 something, right?
No. So and that's what I was talking about earlier, the executive network. So the executive, think about like you have Highway 95. It takes you north and south, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to get off, you go through different states. So you got to go through different states to get off on 95. That's the same way our executive network is. It's Highway 95, but it's different states or different lobes of the brain that work together in order to create better judgment, better strategy, better critical thinking skills. And that pathway is no end on when it stops growing or getting stronger. So that's another myth too. People think that, once you reach a certain age, like this is it. No. You can do things today that literally rewires and strengthens those pathways in your brain.
Love it.
Wow. This is why we need more representation in STEM. So we all know this information. Because she knows everything and spits it out like crazy. And I love that for you. Mm-hmm. All right. So we have come down to our final question for the rapid fire section. And this is going to be more of a fill in the blank. All right. So the next generation doesn't need more blank. They need more blank. You fill in those two blanks. What don't they need and what do they need more of?
I was just going to be funny and be like,
huh?
But they need Jesus. No.
Well, that is true.
No, just just kidding. Maybe not, just a little serious. But I think they don't need limitations. They need to be set free and know that anything is possible.
Wow. Great answer.
Thank you.
Only you can give an answer like that off the dome. This is why we need to be exercising our brain, because it is a muscle. Maybe one day we can all be a scientist like Shirley.
Hello.
Please. Y'all you will not talk to them.
Oh, but we have come to the end of this segment. We cannot begin to explain how much we have enjoyed you. We hope that this interview has also blessed your soul. If you have anything additional, let us know how people can contact you, find you on social media, any website you have, and also talk to us about the upcoming summer camp program.
Yes, the camp.
Yes.
So really quickly, you can find me on all platforms as Shirley Lelle Posey. And then the website is neuro-elite.com. So again, all platforms, Shirley L. Posey. And then the website is Neuro Elite. So super excited. Whitney is a part of the leadership or planning committee. We are bringing to the area Summer STEM Innovation Day. Liberty County is the first one to jump on. However, all surrounding counties can participate. So what's going to happen is students are going to be able to do either module 1 or module 2. Module 1 is agri-tech, which is using actual NASA technology in order to diagnose the crop health of a plant or the crops, and also the soil. And so what it is a device, we call it Stella, and it's about a little bit bigger than this, and it's tethered to the satellites. And so before the actual crops can begin to give indicators that it's not getting enough the nutrients or water, the Stella would be able to do that. But not only are we teaching the students about it, we're bringing in farmers, and the local farmers are going to be able to bring in soil and crop samples, and the students there are then going to be able to diagnose how their farm is doing, or better ways to plant in order to take advantage of the soil moisture and water and nutrients. And then module 2 is biotech, which is we're going to turn or simulate an operating room, teach the students about the anatomy and physiology of the heart, but then have them to develop and program their own pacemaker. They're then going to perform surgery in a sheep heart. And in order to determine if their pacemaker works, the sheep heart should be able to generate a contraction. Then we're going to have a sponsored lunch. And then Whitney is going to take over, and there's going to be an interactive STEM panel. And we may have some guest surprises in that. And then at the end of the day, we're opening it up to the public, so the public can see the innovation that really took place that day. And this program is $150. However, for the surrounding county, it's only $10, y'all. $10. And yesterday, a nonprofit organization said that, hey, it sounds like it's not a lot, but when you have multiple kids or just with the economy. So this nonprofit organization, Cheer Squad with Brianna, she said that their organization, if there is a family that is in need, that they would cover the cost. However, everyone, it is limited seating, and we're only have maybe 20 slots left. So I don't know what everybody is waiting for. Please make sure you sign your kid up. And then also wanted to address the fact, if you have an advanced child that's in elementary school, please reach out to me, and we can give them an assessment to see if they can be a part of this wonderful programming.
Wow.
Wow, for real.
That is so great. And only $10. All that value for only $10. And you can also be sponsored. So there is no reason why you should not be there. It goes from free $99 to $10. So
the experience alone, that's totally invaluable. That is so amazing that you're bringing that down here to Southeast Georgia to give the kids that experience.
We need that. A shift
Yeah.
is coming, and I thank you for leading that shift. I
Yes,
really
yes,
do.
yes. And you are
Um,
definitely the epitome of pretty smart. Thank you so much for
epitome.
joining us. That is a doorbell for who try to come in.
Is that the producer? He's
I'm
coming
about to
in.
say, you want to
I
come
Come
mean,
in.
y'all
in?
You
not
gonna
gonna
say
let
in and
me
out?
in. Y'all
No.
hear the doorbell and y'all gonna
Yeah.
leave me outside.
I didn't know what that
All
was.
Sorry,
of
we were
Wait,
about to end it without you.
Back there booing and stuff. I don't know. We should have let him in or not since he has so much to do.
hey, I started to come knock on the back window, like, hey, y'all hear me out here at the front door? Like, what's
Do
really
y'all
going
hear
on? But man, I just wanted to come on and say, man, all of this black girl magic, excellent, has made me feel smarter tonight because of all of the intellects, all of the beauty, all of the pretty thoughts, and pretty smart young ladies on here. And I just wanted to come on and give you your flowers, Shonda. Shirley Posey.
that?
I know her as Shonda. So it's such a small world. It took me until today to figure out. I know her. We basically grew up together, even though I'm some years older. But I want to say Miss Mildred would be super proud of you.
you. Don't make me
Like,
cry.
No crying.
No, please don't
like,
cry. No, because then
like
you're gonna make me cry.
you are evidence of the lineage that she's left. Not only you, but the rest of your family. Like you guys, your whole family are like full of intellects. And I looked up to her. I mean, I kind of indirectly was under her tutelage, but I always enjoyed the Christmas plays. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
always thought no lie, every time I see Good Times, I think of her because they were that well written. Like she could have literally written Good Times. So you come from good stock, you come from broad level. I'm from broad level partially, like 60-40, but it's all good stock. So if you can get anywhere from there, man, you can get anywhere in the world. And you've definitely shown that by going around the world. So thank you for all you're doing, all you're going to do, and all you've done to represent the low country, the broad level, partly Glenville, but Long County, Tappan County, Long County High School, Blue Tide. So you represent very well. So just wanted to give you a kudos and say thank you for coming to the corner store. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back to back there and finish my healthy potato chips and snacks. So pretty smart. Y'all got it from here.
But yes, thank you again. Truly the epitome of pretty smart. And you could have sold this. Like you literally can package this up in an ebook and sell it for hundreds of dollars. So again, we really do truly thank you for sharing that information with us tonight. Truly invaluable. We appreciate it.
This will be a program in Southeast Georgia. I am speaking that into existence. It will be here, stationary, and our
We'll let
children
the
will be
God
learning
hear.
this on a daily basis. I am putting that out there
A hub,
because we need it.
hub.
Yes.
Okay.
All righty. Well, that's about it for tonight. Thank you again, Shirley, for joining us. And that is our segment, Corner Store Queens, Pretty Smart. Y'all have a good night.
Real conversation from real people. Bye, beautiful.
Bye.